Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Tank Talks Movies podcast / Tanks World podcast. I never really gave this a proper name, so I don't know.
You probably should, just so that people know what to look for. Just saying.
Probably.
Oh, right. I'm here, aren't I?
Yes. And, I guess this is my holiday, episode of the, I'll think of something. And, we got a Christmassy movie we're talking about today.
Yes, today we will be looking at Krampus, the conclusion of Brian's failed attempt to get me to watch every Michael Dougherty movie in 1 year. Unfortunately for you, I did a little time twisting, and we did Trick or Treat last year. So, ha!
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't do it this year, and therefore we didn't do all three of the movies he directed this year. Because we did Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and now Krampus. So, ha! Ha! Victory!
Well,
deep in thought there for a second.
well, yeah. So, Nana Boo Boo, stick your head in doo doo.
I think that's my line,
Oh,
because I'm claiming victory here. So, yeah. what you said, but directed towards you. Yeah. Yeah, what you gonna do about that? What you gonna talk about this movie?
probably.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Well, that's kind of the basis of the show.
Wait, we gotta talk about stuff? I'm out, man.
So, the movie starts out at a mall, and everyone is just fighting for toys and gifts and...
Kind of reminds me of the Tickle Me Elmo craze, or for those of you who are older, the Cabbage Patch Kids craze.
Yes. So many, people. I know you want the toy. I know you want to get the toy, or the new high-tech deal that's out for your kids.
Because that's the only way you will earn their love, apparently.
Mm-hmm. And, just don't get into fights in grocery stores. You end up getting tased and arrested, and then you just kind of look like an ass.
But can we do it in department stores?
I wouldn't recommend it.
But you said grocery stores. I mean, if it only applies to grocery stores...
Did I say grocery store?
Yes, you did.
Or any type of store. I wouldn't recommend it.
It's either you'll get tased or arrested, or somebody's going to record you on their phone, and then you'll be canceled.
Cancel culture.
Or you'll get a or you'll get a TV series. One of the three.
Yeah. There's I guess there was supposed to be a play going on, and
We are introduced to one of our lead characters, Michael.
Michael.
Or Max.
I think it's Max.
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 It's an M name.
Maximilian Pegasus.
Considering we can't remember what the family's last name is, let's go with Pegasus.
Sure. The Pegasus family.
I did not remember most of the characters' names in this movie, unfortunately, and there are quite a few of them throughout them.
Yeah. I can't remember their names much either, besides Max.
Yeah. I think one's Phoebe, which for most of the movie I thought was Stevie.
There is Steve. It is Stevie.
Oh.
Yes.
Well. Okay, I guess initial me was right.
And the Max's sister is named Beth. And I think I'm pulling stuff up my butt right now. Not literally, but Because I think Lucas would kick me out of his apartment if I did that.
It'd be pretty gross, honestly.
So,
I mean, unless you pulled something fucking amazing out of your ass, then I might forgive you. But otherwise,
no, there did a bunch of shit up there.
Well, way to get me excited, me.
So pretty much,
Max gets into a fist fight with another kid who apparently was telling the younger kids that Santa wasn't real, which...
the moral of this portion, Max still believes. To a point. Or he's on the edge of believing and kind of at the same age not believing.
But yeah, the family eventually returns home. I say eventually because I don't know how long it took between the fight and... I mean, I presume it was pretty recent considering he's still still not yet bruised.
No, he's... Like, honestly, the black guy, I believe, forms in the movie, but, like, then later on, it's, like, gone. Like, yeah, it's... It takes a while for a bruise to dissipate.
Well, I don't know nothing about knowing that medical physics.
Neither do I. But I've had bruises in just maybe a week or so, and finally... Somewhat. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV.
Then why the fuck are you here? Oh, right. It's your channel. Sorry.
Well, it's your apartment.
Oh, snap. Shattering the fifth wall.
Yep, the fifth wall has now been shattered. Say hi to the fourth wall.
I can't. That one's dead.
Oh, yeah, we killed it. Last video. So
anyway,
so there's a grandmother there and
she's baking cookies.
Being very grandmother-like.
Yes. Also, she's foreign.
Yes.
She tends to speak in a language that I do not understand. There are subtitles for a lot of what she says, but not everything.
Yiddish, maybe?
I'm
Dutch.
I'm actually looking it up because I'm curious.
Why don't you just open up the wiki page so we know these people's names?
How dare you? How dare you try to be logical about this situation? What do you think this is? Professionalism?
A little bit.
Get the fuck out of my house!
It's not a house, it's a cave.
Get the fuck out of my hole in the ground!
Hobbit hole.
German.
Okay.
I thought it might be German, but I wasn't sure.
We weren't 100% sure. I think Max's dad is named Tim.
Well, I've already closed the Wikipedia page, so we'll never know. I mean, I suppose I could pull it back up on my phone, but I don't care enough to.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just move on, because Max still has yet to mail out his
Christmas a letter to Santa Claus.
Asking what he wants for Christmas.
And they're all getting like prepared for, I guess,
Christmas.
But I don't know about you. My relatives live in town, so they can leave when we're done. But
it's kind of a Christmas vacation sort of situation where extended family are coming over for the holidays.
And definitely they're more...
It's the wife's sister's family, but also their aunt.
Yeah. Which
that neither side had any idea she was going to show up. She just kind of...
I have to say she kind of makes the movie.
She's played by the actress who plays Berta in 2.5 Men, which is The only reason I know that is because my dad seems to love watching that show, and by extension, I have unintentionally watched the entire series at this point. I
used to own all of them on DVD. Then I just lost interest and sold them off.
I've never really had much interest. I mean, once I figured out that other countries made content that I enjoyed, I kind of stopped watching American sitcoms. Sitcoms in general, really.
Yeah.
I mean, how can Friends compete when you have an alien robot who thinks he's a hero of justice? I mean, come on!
We're going there, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I like Robomaru.
Well, you're going to like Robomaru. I'm not saying you don't have to like it.
I mean, just because you've never seen it and have just now heard about it for the first time doesn't mean that that's any less important.
But Friends.
Okay, that is a fair counterpoint.
You can't deny you watched that entire series.
I wouldn't say the entire series. I kind of fell off towards the end of the series, but
well,
I definitely...
A lot of people had.
Probably why it ended. But I did watch most of that series, but that's neither here nor there, nor is it even over there.
Well, it might be over there, but we don't know.
But it might be wed.
True. All right.
Extended family coming over for Christmas.
Okay. Before the extended family comes over, Max is asking, can we make cookies and have watch Charlie Brown? But his parents are upset with him because he got into a fight during a play.
Which is fair.
It's fair, yeah. And then Beth, the daughter, ends up talking to the mom and admitting how much she kind of hates her, her in-laws or relative, because apparently one of them left a turd in her bed.
Mm-hmm.
The previous
the mother claims that was the dog, but even still.
Yeah. I would be very upset if I woke up and found poo in my bed.
I'm sure anyone would. So you are not alone, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Stop acting so self-important, you dingus.
I might.
That's a fair counterpoint.
All right, so the grandma is, asked, "Did you finish your letter?"
To send off to Santa.
And he's like, not quite yet, but he gets it. He writes it down. Then the house just rumbles because apparently his uncle has this big vehicle, and I think he's trying to
overcompensate.
Yep.
I think a lot of his personality is overcompensating.
Yeah. He's like
gun crazy.
that
a little bit. It's like a Burt Gummer type situation, character, but kind of dialed back.
Yeah, he's gun crazy, but not as gun crazy as Burt.
Right. He's definitely in the same mindset as.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of ironic when you think about it, but we'll get there.
Yeah. So
he's got two daughters, one son who barely talks, and a dog.
Thinking
also a little baby. I think it's a girl.
I'm thinking so. I think the son in the movie has a disability. That's why he doesn't speak.
It's possible. He also eats a lot.
Part of me thinks he might have been in Trick or Treat. I'm thinking that's the same kid that was pushing over the pumpkins.
I don't know. I didn't pull up the credits for either of these movies. And you can't make me. Never again. Except when I want to.
Only when we do the Gamazon thing where we just... Well, we need to remember the names of the characters.
I mean, we'd like to be a bit more involved in those, unless we stop caring. Anyway, it's a very volatile family situation.
Yeah, so I believe it's Stevie who finds his Christmas letter, and it's literally a very heartfelt. At some points, a very heartfelt, like...
Also blunt at others.
Yeah.
I wish my mom and dad still lived each other. It's like... I wish my aunt and uncle were better off.
Yeah.
Also...
I'm concerned my uncle wanted my two cousins to be boys. Screw you, our dad doesn't wish that we were boys. I'm sorry, but they're very tomboyish.
Definitely. I mean, no offense if that's actually what their personalities are supposed to be, but it definitely feels like maybe Max hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Unintentionally.
And then, like, Max starts to fight with both of the girls. So they split it up. And
Max goes to his room.
Yep.
His dad comes up to try and talk him down.
And it looks like it works for a second, and then he shreds his Christmas.
Yeah, he's about to seal up the envelope to send it off to Santa, and then he just pulls it out and tears it and tosses it into the wind, which is the bad thing. Because now shit's gonna go crazy.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, you entered thermal winter.
Yeah, because for the rest of the movie, it's stuck in a storm.
Yep. And then the next morning, they're all, like, getting ready, like, for stuff, and...
I think it's the 23rd?
Maybe.
Because I think we have, like, a day-to-day transition in the form of a portion of an advent calendar.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the first time we see it is the 23rd, so the stuff that happened prior to this was on the 22nd. Now we are on the 23rd of that year. And the 23rd goes by pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. Then I believe there's a 24th, and, well...
We'll get to that.
The power kind of goes awry.
First off, though, snowstorm.
Big snowstorm. Big snowstorm. Then a delivery person comes to their door, gives them like a package, and all of a sudden there's like a sack.
It's full of gifts on the...
and
the aunt brings it in, because she brought in the other packages.
Well, she gets the uncle to grab the sack.
Right, but they kind of complain about how rich people get all the good stuff on Christmas.
Yep. Then, Beth is very concerned about her boyfriend, and she wants, because apparently she tries to call or message him, but there's no power. So she decides to...
she's not getting any response from him, and she's like, that's super unusual, and it's like, God, clingy. Much? I mean, I get it. This is the indicator that something bad has happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that apparently most of the rest of the neighborhood have left for the Christmas vacation.
Yeah.
So they've got, like, nobody else to go to.
Yep, so Beth ends up...
convincing her parents to go out to
to let her go out to her boyfriend's house, and her mom says, okay, only 1 hour though.
Several hours later.
Well, Beth is walking, and all of a sudden, she witnesses this giant thing hopping from roof to roof.
She also finds the delivery truck with the guy inside, frozen dead.
Oh, yeah. Then she tries to open up the door. She can't open up the door. And then she hides under the...
because she knows that whatever has been hopping around spotted her.
And then all of a sudden, whatever it is,
Just kind of goes away.
Kind of just circles the delivery van a little bit, and all of a sudden he just leaves a box.
A Jack in the Box.
Yep. And it starts turning.
And then it stops.
And
then it opens up. And we never see what's inside it, but we do definitely know that Beth sure as hell screamed.
Oh, yeah. And then we go back to the house. And Max is actually kind of worried that Beth hasn't really returned. That makes Tim and
the parents
get a little concerned. And the kids find out that something happened to Beth, this blah, blah, blah. And
so the dad and the uncle decide to go out to try and look for Beth, and
they end up going to Beth's boyfriend's house that is severely frozen on the outside.
And the inside. It's also wrecked up inside.
Mm-hmm. So something happened to Ben? I don't know, I'm going to call him Ben. Because I don't think it really even got a name.
I can't remember it offhand, but again, I can't remember most of the characters' names in this movie.
So,
remember their personalities more than...
So they start to leave the house, and they get back.
Also, they arm themselves. The uncle grabs a shotgun and gives Dad a handgun.
They end up shooting something in the snow that...
Yeah, Dad ends up shooting at something in the snow after it grabs Uncle.
Yep.
Tries to drag him under the snow.
They get out, and they get back to the house, and
basically tell everybody, we're boarding the shit up. Something happened.
Yep.
Get the first aid kit.
Oh yeah.
Try to have the kids in the kitchen with the grandma.
Yeah.
Try and keep them from learning the horrific revelation.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really work.
Because they come walking out and just like they have to. The grandma tells them to keep the fire hot. Apparently, to keep some things out.
Yes.
So they keep putting logs and logs and more logs, and
at one point the uncle and the dad kind of have a moment where the uncle thanks the dad for saving his life, and
because they legitimately don't care for each other because they have different beliefs or different lifestyle.
Kind of reminds me of the movie we reviewed last year.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it definitely feels very much a similar situation, but a lot horror-y.
Yeah. So they start getting along, and
they know that they gotta take turns keeping watch at night so that everybody gets safe. But
all of a sudden, a gingerbread man. Okay, everyone's sleeping now.
Yeah, because despite the fact that the uncle said he'd stay up to keep watch, he fell asleep. Nobody's been tending the fire.
Nope.
It's
embers now.
And then a chain, and then a hook on a chain that descends from the chimney.
With a gingerbread man on it, and then the little boy,
the fat kid,
yes. Okay. I know he's fat.
You're bulking up so he could be a linebacker.
Yep.
What his dad says.
Mm-hmm. Apparently he's not the brightest thing.
Nope.
He probably just thinks with his fucking stomach at this point. Because he grabs the gingerbread man that's hanging in the fireplace and takes a bite.
And then the gingerbread screams.
Yep, and he gets
wrapped up in chains, pulled up the chimney.
And everyone wakes up at this point because they see this kid's legs kind of just somewhat dangling in the...
They're trying to save the boy. doesn't quite work out. The mom, though, she sees a lot.
Yeah, because she gets almost pulled up as
Herself.
far as the kid went. So she sees pretty much everything. And she just tells them, like, to, nope. Put the fire back on.
One of the still burning logs does light the nearby Christmas tree up, so they got to put that out. Once everything's finally settled down and they've got the fireplace going again, the grandma basically reveals to everybody that she's experienced this kind of shit before. Turns out it's Krampus. It's evil Krampus. Because during the war,
Yep.
situation in her home village was not very good. Food trucks, yes. But she had the bread that had been given to her stolen by her neighbors who tore it to pieces.
Then her parents grabbed her Santa doll and ripped it.
And tossed
it in the fire. And
no, she tosses it in the fire because with everything that's been going on, she'd lost the Christmas spirit. And then Krampus came by and dragged her parents to hell and left her behind to know the story.
And then Krampus left her a little bell.
It's a little jingle bell with his name on it.
Kind of gave her a little wink too. Wink, wink. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hey.
I gotta admit, this whole flashback sequence is fantastically done. I can't tell.
I do like it was like. I want to say it was CGI claymation.
It looked like it could have either been stop motion or CGI. It's hard to tell. It looks great though. It's definitely one of the more creative aspects of this movie. Another one being later on, but we'll get to that.
So they hear some rumbling upstairs.
It's the 24th, by the way.
Yes.
Get the next date on the advent calendar. I think that it turned over just before the fat kid got dragged up.
They hear rumbling up in the attic. I believe it's the attic, or it could be just the upstairs. I'm not 100% sure.
The adults start to make plans to try and get to the nearby snowplow to try and figure out a way to get out of this hell.
So then, if they can't get to the police station, the mall, and if that's locked up, they need to go to the police station. If that's locked up, they just continue driving until they find people.
So it's basically like The Mist, but with a lot less social commentary.
Yeah.
Also fewer characters to keep track of.
Oh, yeah. Then, well, after... We're sliding back a little bit here. After Grandma tells her a little story about Krampus, the uncle's like, that is pure bullshit. Like, he didn't believe anything. But the aunt of the sisters, goes, so what does that mean? It means we're fucked. Then the grandma's like, no.
Oh, and the grandma, she switches over to English to tell her story.
Yep.
And the aunt's like, I fucking knew it.
I knew she could speak English the whole time. Blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah.
Hey, now, let's not go that far.
Blah. Okay, so, like, the uncle is gonna go out and go save his kid that got pulled off the chimney. But
the mom tells him no because she knows what she doesn't quite know what she saw, but it was not pretty.
Exactly. And just like they put him back inside the house.
The aunt, not Berta. I'm going to keep calling her Berta to avoid confusion. But the aunt takes the packages that were in the sack and kind of thinks about maybe rewrapping them because they got caught up in the fire.
Mm-hmm. Then some rumbling up in the attic happens, so they all run upstairs. And
all the adults do.
Yeah, they all... And they witness...
Uncle stays down on the ground floor to watch out for the kids and Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Mom, Dad, and Aunt up in the...
Yep. And we see this massive jack-in... Oh, yeah, the two girls have been taken.
Yeah, they hear what sounds like Beth. They go to investigate.
Yeah.
Then we hear them screaming. That's what instigates the
running adults. up the stairs, and they witness one of the girls' feet in this giant Jack-in-the-Box
looking
thing
snake creature. That honestly reminds me of that one scene from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. The Snake Freddy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this thing is horrifying.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the first of the horrifying creatures that start popping up from here on out.
We get a angel thing that kind of attacks the mom.
We get a demonic teddy bear.
That attacks the aunt.
Down in the kitchen, the uncle gets attacked by evil gingerbread men.
As you do.
Which we already saw. He manages to shoot one dead, start the other two on fire.
Yep.
Actually, he starts all three of them on fire, shoots one of them dead, one of them dies from being on fire, and the third one just...
He's coming with like a little blade thing. Then all of a sudden, the uncle is laying there with his eyes closed, just take the punishment, and then all of a sudden...
Nothing happens.
Opens his eyes, the dog just chewing on something. That a girl.
They do manage to find Stevie up in the attic, who hasn't yet been digested. Mm-hmm. So they managed to save her.
They end up going, okay, the snake / Jack-in-the-Box thing somehow escapes through the vent system, and
everybody who's left gathers in the living room,
and Max pretty much tells his mom that I think this is my fault, and the grandma says elves. And a bunch of creepy little fucking things just bust through the window.
Not quite yet. Max lets the dog up into the vents to try and get the Jack snake.
Yep. Get him, girl.
Because Jack snake's moving around in the vents, breaking through stuff.
Yep. Then
the elves decide to bust through the window.
And it's getting... With the elves breaking the window, the fire can't keep going.
And the elves actively work to put it out too.
Yep.
They do something to put the fire out. Mm-hmm. They help the ailing Jack-in-the-Box snake escape.
Yep. The uncle hops on the sack of the Jack-in-the-Box thing, and
because that's where the baby now is.
Yes.
Berta, she got chained up and dragged out.
Before that, she's the one that stops some of the elves. No. Berta is the one that stops the angel and the teddy bear
with a shotgun.
Boom! Boom! Just like, oh, those things are dead now. And that's
That's when the elves show
Yeah,
up.
then Grandma says elves.
Yeah, the climax, this climactic moment in this movie gets pretty goddamn chaotic.
Oh, yeah. Simple enough, the family hears a big boom on the roof.
Something happens to the dad. I can't remember what happens to the dad.
Well, he was being stabbed by a wheelie.
Oh yeah, the toy robot came to life and started stabbing at him.
Yep.
For context, we're referring to Wheelie from Revenge of the Fallen, because that's the only point of context we have for this. Because
it looked like Wheelie. To me, it looked like Wheelie.
That is fair. That is fair.
Then they pretty much.
He doesn't get killed by that. He survives that.
How the dad goes is they all bolt.
Yeah, they decide to try and enact their plan to get to the snowplow. The grandma decides to stay behind
And lock the...
so that she could confront Krampus himself.
So, simple enough how the dad and the mom go. And the aunt, actually.
I do. Before we get to that, I do want to say that the scene with Grandma and Krampus is kind of a nice touch.
Yeah.
Because it's clear that Krampus remembers her.
Oh, yeah. She's like... he's like you again.
Also, we finally get to see Krampus.
Oh, yes. Just looked like an old demon man with his mouth just wide open. Just a big old white beard.
Because he's supposed to be like the shadow of Santa Claus. So
Yeah.
he looks like a demonic Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not expecting him to look like that, but to be a bit fair to this movie, my expectations for what he looked like came from a card from Big Bad Toy Store. An advertised that had like some stylized buff Krampus on it. It's like, I don't even know what the context for that was.
Okay, there's different Krampus movies where there's actors actually with decent prosthetic, like...
Yeah, I don't know which Krampus this was supposed to be. I'm assuming based on the logo, but I could be wrong. I didn't look this up.
Mm-hmm.
It looked a lot different from what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
It also looked way different from that one episode of the Aquabats, but that's besides the point.
So Krampus opens up the bag.
And a bunch of toys come out and they presumably kill the grandma.
Mm-hmm. And they end up
outside.
Outside.
Oh, I feel I should mention that throughout the movie there have been snowmen just being outside.
Yes, they keep. The elves are building snowmen.
I think it represents the victims or something.
Maybe.
Or they could just be building snowmen.
Yep.
Just to kind of freak the family out because Max notices one outside the first day.
Yeah.
First
Snowman
morning.
outside.
Wondering what the heck.
So, pretty much, the dad gets sucked down underground, into the snow. The aunt gets sucked down into the snow. They make it to the snowplow, by the way.
But by this point, it's just
Max,
Max, Stevie, the mom, and the aunt lag behind and starts to get pulled under.
Yep.
Mom tries to save her, doesn't quite work out, gets stuck down herself. Then Max and Stevie get attacked by elves,
mm-hmm.
and they drag
they drag Stevie down, but Max is able to
get in the. He manages to get in the truck, but since he can't get the thing to work and doesn't know how to drive the thing, he's kind of stuck, and he's left
mm-hmm.
alone, just like Grandma was.
So he ends up walking back to the house. Then he gets approached by Krampus,
Who gives him the bell.
And then he sees the elves and Krampus have Stevie, and they're about to take her.
Yeah, I think Krampus gives him the bell before he heads out into the woods or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, so he heads out into the woods, comes across Krampus and his minions.
And just calls him an asshole.
Tosses the jingle bell
He's like,
at him, which lands in the snow, and opens up a pit to hell.
Yep. Literally in the watching yesterday, I said, "Way to go, kid! You opened up the portal to hell." And then, simple enough, he tells Krampus to take him. Then the elves shove Stevie in. Then Krampus picks him up and throws him in.
Because at the end of the day, he just wanted Christmas to go back to the way it was. Mm-hmm. And then he wakes up in bed.
Yep. It was all a dream.
Or at least he thinks so, until when they're all opening presents, he opens his, and it's the jingle bell from Krampus.
And they're just like all like looking around, and all the
it
starts snowing outside, and
I think the whole point of everybody staring at the bell was everybody having this dawning realization that it wasn't a dream they were having.
No,
it had happened before. And we get a pull out of the house that is now inside of a snow globe, inside of a room filled with snow globes. It's
Krampus is a collector of bad
snow globes.
Snow globes with people in it. So
this was a damn good movie.
Oh yeah. You know, when you first, like, my first time actually watching it for the very first time, like, I thought it was like, I didn't think I was gonna care for it, but I just wanted more Christmassy / horror.
I recall having seen maybe some ads for it and not thinking too much of it outside of an interesting an interesting Christmas horror movie focusing on a darker aspect of Christmas mythology.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I think maybe I had heard of Krampus before, but I think this was the first time the general public had become aware of Krampus as a thing.
My very first time hearing of Krampus was actually an episode of Tales from the Dark Side years ago. But
that is a show that I really should see more of. I've not seen a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
But
back when we had HBO. And simple enough, these kids were being bad, and just two gigantic hands take the kids away. And that's...
I mean, how do you respond to that? As a kid?
I don't know. But, yeah, the plot was very good, I think. You know, it was... the characters were decent.
I mean, they really were kind of stereotypical, but given that the whole point was to have a bunch of stereotyped characters stuck in a situation where they have to work together, that made sense. I get it. It was the whole point was that it was a dysfunctional family. So,
the many creatures designs were goddamn great.
Yeah, once they go into the attic and find the jack snake.
Yep.
That was.
They even literally the teddy bear gave me Five Nights at Freddy vibes.
and I don't think that game had even come out yet.
No. Then just that angel thing, creepy as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, great creature designs for this movie.
And then Krampus.
Oh, he's spooky.
They're just like
his mouth hanging open the entire time. Like,
he had a long tongue. Just
like his skin looked like he was wearing some sort of mask.
Yeah,
a really saggy mask.
Like he looked very brittle. But
frail, but horrifying at the same time.
Yeah, I really thought this movie was quite good, and It's just sometimes you need some horror in your Christmas.
And not in the whole let's just make Santa evil, also Goldberg type of way.
I own that movie.
Or the let's shoot a guy on garbage day sort of way.
There's like naughty chop.
So I'm willing to bet that nobody realized that was from a Christmas movie. That clip.
Garbage Day. I believe that was Silent Night 2.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. It might have been the first one. I don't remember. It was definitely a schlocky movie, though.
Oh my god, yeah. Bad people getting their heads chopped off.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, there actually are quite a few Christmas horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
Black Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
The Christmas original Story. Not really. I've never actually seen A Christmas Story. Don't care to either.
Oh, Christmas Story?
Yeah.
That's not a horror movie.
No. I was just
It's literally just a movie that gets overwatched on Christmas Day.
Yeah, like I said, I've never watched it. I've never had any inkling to watch it, even when it was on 50 times a Christmas.
I'll give it the one watch during Christmas, and then meaning it'll play in the background as I'm doing something else.
Right. Just not for me.
No,
just not for me.
It's an okay movie, but you've seen it once, you've seen it 100 times.
And then that kid went on to be in a Thanksgiving horror movie with an evil mutant turkey. And that's why I even mentioned Christmas movie in the first place. Because I was trying to think of another obscure Christmas movie. And then I thought, oh right, there was that one Thanksgiving horror movie. That the kid from A Christmas Story. Let's just go with Christmas Story.
There you go. Yeah, there's a decent amount of like Christmas horror type movies. There is, I have not seen it, but I've seen clips where Santa is fighting Krampus. And Santa's not doing very well. I don't know what that one is.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that was Krampus, a Christmas movie.
Yep. Merry Christmas, everyone. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that. That was a movie I would watch again.
Mm-hmm. So, Merry Christmas, everyone.